Have you ever wondered what actually triggers female attraction at its deepest level? Most men spend their lives chasing, pleading, and overextending themselves, yet they wonder why they keep coming up short. To master this, you have to stop looking at the surface and start understanding the psychological landscape of how women actually think, feel, and react to your presence. True attraction isn't about being the loudest person in the room or the one trying the hardest to please. It's about understanding the power of space and the impact of your own absence. Before we even dive into the heavy hitters of behavioral psychology, you need to wrap your head around one fundamental truth that most men are too afraid to accept. It all starts with a hard reality. Women are naturally and instinctively drawn to the man who doesn't give them the time of day. This isn't about being cruel or cold, it's about the psychology of perceived value. When you stop the desperate chase and start strategically ignoring the urge to seek her validation, something shifts in the dynamic. You immediately stop being a predictable option and transform into a mystery that she feels a biological compulsion to solve. Human nature dictates that we value what we cannot easily have. By maintaining your distance and focusing on your own mission, you create a vacuum that she feels the need to fill with her own attention and effort. While you are busy playing this high value game, you have to stay sharp and aware of how information flows. Keep in mind that a woman's silence is almost always temporary. Psychological data suggests that, on average, a woman can only keep a secret for about 47 hours before the urge to share it becomes overwhelming. This means the way you carry yourself, the moves you make, and the mystery you cultivate will eventually become the topic of conversation. Use this window of time wisely. Instead of wondering what she's saying or thinking, use that energy to build your own path and solidify your own empire. Every second you spend worrying about her perception is a second you've lost on your own growth. Building that path requires a specific kind of mindset regarding how you treat the world around you. There is a powerful law of reciprocity at play. If you light a lamp for someone else, you will inevitably brighten your own way. Acts of leadership and kindness add to your character and your frame, making you a more formidable man. However, the trap most men fall into is doing these things because they want something in return. You must learn to provide value and light the way for others without ever expecting a reward or a thank you. When you operate from a place of abundance, where you give because you have plenty, not because you're trading for affection, you become truly magnetic. This is the foundation of a psychological frame that doesn't just attract attention, but commands respect. The reality of modern dating is a battlefield that most men completely misunderstand. You aren't just competing with the guy standing across the room or the one sliding into her messages right now. You are constantly competing with the ghosts of her past. Whether you like it or not, she is carrying a mental archive of every man who came before you, every high, every low, and every broken promise. Surveys and psychological studies consistently show that ex partners frequently linger in a woman's mind, acting as a silent benchmark for every new interaction. However, the biggest mistake you can make is trying to compete with those memories or trying to forcefully erase him from her head. Your job isn't to play investigator or to get jealous of a memory. Your job is to be the undeniable high value upgrade that makes the past look like a flickering candle compared to the sun. You win by being so dominant in your purpose and so secure in your frame that the comparison isn't even a contest. Achieving that level of presence requires a mindset that is forged in the fire of persistence. Most of the greatness you see in this world wasn't achieved by people who had it easy. It was built by those who kept pushing forward when hope seemed completely dead and the odds were stacked against them. You have to realize that being the better option isn't just about how you look or what you earn. It's about your resilience. It's about being the man who can navigate the darkest storms without flinching. Whatever pain, stress, or heavy burden you are carrying right now, you must understand that it is strictly temporary. The world does not stop for your grieving, and time does not wait for you to feel better. Life moves on, with or without you. And the only way to ensure you aren't left behind is to embrace the struggle, knowing that it is refining you into a version of yourself that her past could never touch. As you climb this mountain of self improvement, you must internalize a cold, hard truth. Do not ever expect anyone to catch you when you fall. This is the ultimate test of a man's character. You might have spent your entire life being the hero for everyone else, saving people from their own mistakes, and acting as the pillar of strength for your family or friends. But when your own knees hit the dirt, the world is often silent. People are naturally drawn to your strength, but they are often terrified of your weakness. This is why you must become your own safety net. You have to build a mental and emotional fortress so strong that you don't need a hand to pull you up because you've already mastered the art of standing back up on your own. When you stop looking for a savior, you become one. That level of self reliance is exactly what creates the undeniable upgrade aura. It shows her and the world that you are a man who is truly governed by no one but himself. You must realize that you are the sole author of your life story, which means you are the only one with the authority to decide how each chapter ends. Most people drift through life allowing their parents, their partners, or their friends to dictate their choices, effectively letting someone else hold the pen while they just watch their own story unfold. This is a recipe for a life filled with resentment. You have to take back that control and be absolutely ruthless about who you allow into your inner circle. Your social environment is either a greenhouse that helps you grow or a toxic wasteland that withers your potential. There is no middle ground. You need to look at the people around you with a cold, objective eye and ask yourself if they are adding value or simply taking up space. Your time and energy are the most precious currencies you own, and once they are spent, you never get them back. The world is full of emotional vampires, people who will happily drain every ounce of your energy, consume your resources, and distract you from your mission. These individuals are experts at playing the victim. They will wait until you are at your lowest point, leave you face down in the dirt, and then have the audacity to blame you for the very mess they helped create. They don't want to see you succeed because your success shines a spotlight on their own failures. This is why a massive part of becoming a high value man is learning to identify these patterns early and cutting them out without hesitation or apology. You don't owe anyone a seat at your table if they aren't bringing something to the meal. Being ruthless isn't about being a bad person. It's about being a protector of your own peace and your own future. When you finally decide to cut those ties, you have to learn the art of swallowing the pain and growing in the silence. We live in a culture that encourages men to vent, complain, and show every wound. But true strength is built in the moments when you are hurting and you choose to keep moving forward without making a sound. The silence is where the real work happens. It's where you process the betrayal, learn the lesson, and forge a version of yourself that is immune to that kind of manipulation in the future. You don't need to post about your struggles or seek sympathy from the masses. The results of your growth will eventually speak so loudly that you won't have to say a word. Use the pain as fuel rather than a weight, and let the quiet periods of your life be the most productive ones you've ever had. Finally, you need to trust that feeling deep in your gut that tells you when a relationship has reached its expiration date. Once your respect for someone dies, the transition is irreversible. You'll notice that everything they do, even the small, insignificant habits, will start to grate on your nerves and annoy you to your core. This isn't just you being moody or irritable. That visceral reaction is actually your intuition screaming at you that this person no longer belongs in your life. It's your internal survival mechanism recognizing that the alignment is gone. When that respect is gone, the foundation is gone, and there is no point in trying to fix a building that has already collapsed. Listen to that intuition, accept the end of the chapter, and have the courage to walk away so you can start writing the next one with people who actually deserve a role in your script. Now, we've reached the specific physical trigger you've been waiting for, and this is where most men completely miss the mark. While everyone else is rushing through the motions and focused on the obvious, true psychological mastery lies in the details that others overlook. Science and behavioral psychology show that a staggering 95% of women experience an immediate and intense surge in arousal through specific, concentrated tension. This isn't about grand gestures or aggressive moves, it's about the raw magnetic power of focused attention. When a man takes control of a moment and narrows his entire world down to one small detail, such as the way he handles her hands or focuses on her fingers during an intimate encounter, it sends a powerful signal to her brain. It communicates that you are a man of presence, a man who is not in a hurry, and a man who is deeply attuned to the nuances of the moment. This specific type of focus creates a high stakes tension that is almost impossible to ignore. By shifting your attention to these sensitive nerve endings with a sense of deliberate purpose, you are demonstrating a level of dominance and sophistication that most men never achieve. It's about the power you bring to the table and the unwavering focus you project. You aren't just touching, you are leading the experience. You are showing her that you have the patience to explore the details and the confidence to take your time. This creates a psychological loop where she becomes hyper aware of your touch and your presence, which in turn causes her level of attraction and physiological response to skyrocket. When you master the art of concentrated tension, you stop being just another guy and start being a man she can never forget. If these psychological truths have hit home and you can see how these shifts in mindset and action will change your results, I want you to take a second to engage with this community. Type yes in the comments right now if you're ready to stop playing small and start leading with intent. I want to know which specific part of this breakdown changed your perspective or gave you that aha moment. Your feedback helps us sharpen the content and ensures we're delivering the raw, unfiltered truth you need to level up. Don't go anywhere just yet. Make sure you stick around and check out our other deep dives into the hidden mechanics of the human mind and social intelligence. We are constantly pulling back the curtain on the behaviors that drive attraction, respect, and success. You've already taken the first step by arming yourself with this knowledge. Now it's time to apply it and see the world through a completely different lens. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and above all, stay sharp.